Hello and welcome to Sport This Morning. I'm Cecilia Amogbe.
It's great to have you join us again. I'm Taya Salam.
We get started with the show. We're starting with the match day 12 of Nigeria Professional Football League. That will get us talking this weekend, especially the big clash between Kano Pillars and Enyimba. Yeah,
definitely match of the day, no doubt. The two most successful sides in the Premier League in recent times, but these teams have been struggling this season. So it'll be very interesting to see who comes out on top in this particular match between Kano Pillars and Enyimba of Aba.
And good news coming from Atletico Madrid, all about Fernando Torres. He's definitely conscious now and he's okay. So everyone should be happy about this. Last night in their game against Atletico Bilbao, he was taken out on ambulance and taken straight to the hospital after falling awkwardly face down. But for a while, he was treated on the pitch. Very conscious, but right now is responding to treatment, and it's okay.
Oh, Cecilia, scary scenes.
So
scary scenes yesterday night at the Estadio Rizal. But thankfully, Fernando Torres is in stable condition now. That's good news for us, and there's no doubt he's going to get the best of medical care. So Fernando Torres get well soon. Okay, also on the show, but this time in tennis, and Novak Djokovic has suffered another early exit after losing to Nick Kyrgios in the quarterfinals of the Mexican Open. Cecilia, in Australia, it was Dennis Istomin in round 2 of the Australian Open in Melbourne. This time around, it's Nick Kyrgios in the quarters in Acapulco, and you just ask questions. I mean, what's wrong? The early season lack of form. What's the problem? Is it just a blip or something much more serious?
Okay, do I really know what's wrong?
I mean, you can take a shot.
You should get his coach back. You know, because when you have a coach who actually have a work pushing you to go the extra mile, you always want to do that. But, you know, Djokovic happens to be a player sometimes that can be very comfortable when he's not doing so well. So I think maybe that's what is playing out now. Because if you check the result, it was very, very close. 7-6, 7-5, and it was just in 1 hour 47 minutes against Nick Kyrgios, knocking him out in 1 hour 47 minutes.
Yeah, but you have to give credit to Nick Kyrgios. Nick Kyrgios played.
Is it the first time they're meeting?
No, they've met before. They've met before.
In this particular tournament.
Yeah, in this particular tournament, obviously they just met, but they've met before, and Kyrgios has shown that he has what it takes to really give Djokovic a run for his money.
Has he ever taken
this is his best. He played the best game of his life, so you have to give him credit for that. That's Nick Kyrgios. Like I said, it was a very tight one, 7-6, 7-5. Nick Kyrgios prevailed in that particular game over Novak Djokovic. So, Cecilia, I don't know what's going on with Djokovic, but obviously there's something wrong with his form at the moment, and he has to sort it out as soon as possible. I don't know whether it's recalling his coach. I don't know if that's going to be enough for him to regain his top form. I remember he's still world number 2. It's just the only person ahead of him in the rankings is Andy Murray. So he has to start delivering. I mean, the season is well underway now. In March already, the second Grand Slam of the year is not too far away, and he can't afford to go into the French Open with this kind of form.
Yeah, it's a very, very not a good form, actually,
no,
because when you're looking at Djokovic, the way he started last season, 2 seasons ago, but this season, I mean, the first 2 tournaments he has played in of the year, the first one, another good one. I mean, these are tournaments that he dominates ordinarily. If it's the French Open, I will understand, okay, but when it comes to Australian Open, I didn't understand that. I'm just it's hard to actually believe that Djokovic didn't even make it to the second week of that tournament. And for this one against Nick Kyrgios, who is really not a regular player when it comes to performance, then it tells you a whole lot about Novak Djokovic. He's actually, going down. I think he needs to get his coach back. It actually needs it, because the story I read about, the reason why he had to leave wasn't really cool at all.
Exactly. So why
himself, exactly? So why train harder and all that? And when you're having a coach who is, who was a former champion,
how to push,
who knows how to win and how everything and all that, I think, Djokovic. Okay, Nadal still cruising.
Yeah, Nadal's still cruising, right? I mean, different strokes right now. I mean, different fortunes for Nadal and Djokovic. Nadal has started the year in great fashion. I mean, we saw him at the Australian Open. No one thought he would get to the final. He got to the final. He had an epic against Roger Federer. Federer won that one. Boys, he went, rested a bit. Now he's back to Acapulco. That's in Mexico. And Nadal has never lost in Acapulco. I mean, his winning run there now stretched to, I think it's about 20 games now. Okay, 13 games. He hasn't lost in Acapulco. And in this match against his rival who he played in that semifinal, that's against Nishikori, he won it 7-6, 6-2. So 7-6, 6-3, I beg your pardon. That's the result of that match in between Rafael Nadal and his opponent from Japan, Yoshito Nishikori.
Yeah.
So 13-0 in Mexico. Cecilia is looking very good for Nadal right now. It looks like he might just go on to win this tournament for a third time.
Yep, and the name, I'll say it again, is actually Yoshihito Nishikori. You know, it looks more like
not the famous
Kai Nishikori. So right? I think
that's another Japanese too.
Yeah, this one is a
watch out for.
21-year-old from Japan. So you have Japanese guys actually dominating. But for Nadal, he has not won he talked about 13 matches in this tournament.
13 unbeaten.
Unbeaten.
Yes.
So he will face Marin Cilic next in the semi-final.
Exactly. And let's just put perspective before we move on from Nadal, Cecilia. Nadal has won this particular tournament twice in 2005 and in 2013, but those victories came on clay. The tournament has since switched to hard courts now, so we'll see if Nadal can repeat those performances. Nadal's last victory on clay was on hard courts was at the Qatar Open in 2014. So Nadal versus Marin Cilic. I can't wait. Let's get it on already.
Yeah, I'll get it done. And also Andy Murray. We talked about Andy Murray. He's also cruising on, but he had to save how many tie breaks before he was able to beat Philip Kohlschreiber. It was a tough game for him. Went into the ninth, hours before he was able to get something out of that game. A very, very tough game for him.
Yeah, I mean, Cecilia, it's really hotting up on the ATP tour now. So from Acapulco, we go to the Dubai Tennis Championships. And like I said, it was an epic match between Andy Murray and Philip Kohlschreiber. Cecilia, what a match that one was. Murray was on the verge of crashing out, but then he showed champion's mentality to save 7 match points. That's incredible. That's out of this world to overcome his rival Kohlschreiber 6-4, 5-7, 7-6. That's how that one ended.
6-7, 7-6, 6-1. Yeah, that's the way it ended.
Yeah,
the second set, actually, that was the where he had to save the 7 match points in that one. Went to a tie break. But in the final set, which was 6-1, it was actually easy for him. It, like after going into that 7 tie breaks, he came back. And maybe Philip Kohlschreiber is not the type who know how to play a very long game. So somehow he fizzled out. And another game between an unseeded Fernando Verdasco of Spain and also Guy Monfils, who was seeded in the tournament. That one ended 6-3, 7-5. And Fernando Verdasco is through to the next round in the tournament also.
Yeah, so for Andy Murray now, Andy Murray will play Lucas Pouille. Who beats the guy that beats Roger Federer. Yeah, so that's very interesting. It's always very interesting to see this. These guys, of course, they go great length to actually cause upsets, and the very next round, they're out of the competitions. Are very interesting. So Andy Murray is still on course to win his first Dubai tennis championships. I mean, as it is right now, you have to say he's a favorite.
Yeah, he's a favorite because he wants to be the only one. I mean, when you talk about top seed left, Roger Federer not there, Stan Wawrinka not there, and in Mexico, without Novak Djokovic, definitely, you would say Rafael Nadal is also favorite to win that one.